likes of Hasan.
Hi, chat. I know Hasan can't resist watching something with his face on stream, so hi, come subscribe over to me. This son of a bitch did.
Piker responding to
yes.
He's
right though.
Dude.
Another month, wow.
All right, let's
well,
get back to the.
Enjoy your day, mate.
What is this video anyway? What is that? Shame on you. What is that video? Guys, that looks interesting actually. What?
What's up, you beautiful bastards? Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. Hit that like.
Guys, why everybody's mad at the Met Gala? Why everybody's mad at that? I don't get it.
Button if you want me to punch you in the throat and or just to feed those algorithm gods to get these videos in front of more people. And while you do that, I'm just gonna jump into it. The first stories and news that we have to talk about today involves the Met Gala, which I get that it's for charity, but it always is such a weird thing. Like, it always just comes off to me as this look at me, elitist bullshittery parade with people dressed up like citizens of Pan Am and the Capitol. But actually, one of the stories that blew up the most regarding the Met Gala involves someone that did not go. Right, with a lot of the focus being on Nicki Minaj, who put out a barrage of tweets and regarding the Met Gala, she wrote, "They want you to get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. I'm working on that now." To which we saw the likes of Hasan.
If you want to do research, motherfucker, just become some scientific or some shit. I'm confused. What was that about?
For the Met. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. To which we saw the likes of Hasan Piker responding, "The world awaits your wonderful contribution to the scientific community." And possibly in response to that, just minutes later, we saw Nicki sharing a rather remarkable story. Writing, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied." Right? We ended up seeing a whole slew of dismissive responses to both.
Well, what I'm getting, I'm not. What's the story? He was gonna get married, and then his balls inflated, so then she decided not to marry him anymore.
You're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Right? We ended up seeing a whole slew of dismissive responses to both this and the previous tweets, including YouTube's own Ethan Klein tweeting, eagerly awaiting Nicki's peer-reviewed study on the various vaccines' efficacy. And I try to keep my emotions out of stories most of the time, but I want to say something to Ethan Klein and Hasan Piker. You disgusting libtards, you Fauci fuckboys. Leave Nicki Minaj alone. If you actually tried the bare minimum, you did just an inkling of research, you would know that Nicki's trying her best. And I know this firsthand because Nicki, I, and an elite team of barbs have been working countless hours over the last 6 months trying to figure this shit out. Running the numbers, following the leads, checking the balls. You dismiss her story, you dismiss her truth as probably some guy in Trinidad cheating on his girlfriend, getting an STI and trying to explain it away. And does that make more sense than Nicki's version of events? Sure. And is that probably what actually happened? Fine. But I don't know how to end this bit. It's so stupid. This is such a weird, stupid story that has resulted in Nicki Minaj misleading and misinforming millions of people. Though, if you were a person that Nicki Minaj's opinion was a thing that knocked you.
Well, chat, has it been reported like an actual positive side effect that your balls are going to inflate if you get vaccinated? I didn't get none of that.
Off the fence, I don't know if there's much hope for you. But really, isn't that the most American and patriotic thing that Nicki Minaj could do right now? Using a weird anecdotal story that's gone through several rounds of a game of telephone as equal to or greater than scientific research, and Googling and texting until you find things that validate how you feel rather than caring about the actual facts and reality of the situation. Oh, it's so stupid. I just had to watch Dr. Fauci on national TV be questioned about this, and his response, I'm paraphrasing, "There's no evidence that COVID vaccines cause reproductive issues, and this is the dumbest bullshit." And also, what's kind of fun with this sort of misinformation is it's not the kind of stuff that gets removed from social media. The Twitter spokesperson telling The Verge that her posts are not in violation of the Twitter rule, which is most likely because Twitter doesn't actually know if some random dude in Trinidad has giant balls. And if he does, how he got them. But yeah, that's that story. You have any thoughts? Also, in addition to the Nicki Minaj focus, there was a lot of attention on people that went and the controversies or backlash associated with that. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, definitely at the center of a lot of stories, wearing a dress that said "tax the rich," with a number of people mocking her attendance and outfit, including the likes of Ted Cruz and Barstool Sports' Dave. People mocking her attendance and outfit, including the likes of Ted. It just comes off to me as this look at me, elitist bullshittery parade. Mocking her attendance and outfit, including the likes.
Cost per ticket $30,000. Virtuously lying to your base while partying without a mask. With the people you claim to hate. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, it probably needs to be more information about this, though. I'm confused. Sometimes people go to places for free or whatever.
Cruz and Barstool Sports' Dave Portnoy, who tweeted, "Tax the rich. But first, I'm gonna go have the time of my life partying with them all at the most extravagant, over-the-top party of the year that is essentially a celebration of richness." Though, on the other side of this, you had AOC describing the story behind this dress on Instagram, saying the medium is the message, adding that she worked with Aurora James, who is a black woman immigrant designer who focuses on sustainability, and saying, "The time is now for childcare, healthcare, and climate action for all. Tax the rich." And yes, before anybody starts wilding out, New York City elected officials are regularly invited to and attend the Met due to our responsibilities in overseeing our city's cultural institutions that serve the public. And regarding whether or not the medium was effective in communicating.
What? So then she didn't pay for the ticket then? Well, I'm confused. So then she didn't pay for the ticket, and everybody's mad that she did pay for the ticket when they could have just done the research on the post, and then they would have seen that she didn't pay for the ticket. So I don't get it. So what? So that's just misinformation then. So these tweets are just cringe. These guys could have just Googled it.
And overseeing our city's cultural institutions that serve the public. And regarding whether or not the medium was effective in communicating her message, you had AOC sharing a story showing searches for people looking up tax the rich skyrocketed and noting that this surge leads to more discussion about America's tax code and how to fix it. But still, very much so, you had people very split on this. Some saying that her reasoning here was bullshit, saying that she's a hypocrite. Others saying no, she's great. She's driving the conversation and awareness on important issues. And AOC ended up responding to this.
That's not the point. Well, I'm confused though. People say it's celebrating the rich.
You can advocate for higher taxes on rich people while also being
yeah,
rich.
that's of course.
This chat is so fucking brain dead. I swear.
Also, these people that are rich have a lot of resources to get the message across. So what do people expect? Do people expect that the tax the rich message should only be broadcasted and pushed by the poor? But then you lose a lot of tools that you could use to push the message. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense at all. It makes none. I mean, yeah, I get it's a rich people party, but then, okay, guys, I'm devil's advocate, okay? I'm both sides, okay? I didn't make a take about this, okay? But isn't it actually kind of a good thing if she's with all the rich saying tax the rich? Isn't that like a good thing? It's not really celebrating it. If anything, it's kind of like almost like it's almost like kind of insulting them for the people that are not for that, and they're rich and they're there. So I don't get it. It's kind of a message. I don't know.
Herself on Instagram, writing that she thought about the criticism she might receive as she has faced it since her election, but saying she decided that even though some people would hate it, the important thing was that, quote, "We all had a conversation about taxing the rich in front of the very people who lobby against it and punctured the fourth wall of excess and spectacle." And so what I'd love to do with this story is pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? I want to know what you're thinking and why regarding this AOC situation. Then in news that has
without someone bringing up their sexuality.
Nobody knows it.
You know, thinking, I'm a boss, I'm a team lead. There have been numerous times in meetings that I've said the phrase, y'all, there's no such thing as a bad idea. And today, Philip DeFranco, would like to denounce that sentiment. I would like to retroactively take that statement back because of this news coming out of Porter County, Indiana, that's making headlines. And if you haven't seen yet, they had their 40th annual Popcorn Festival. It landed on September 11. For this, the Valparaiso City Republicans...
This is gonna get some political shit at it. Okay. That's pretty much all I cared about in this. What is
decided to sponsor a float that they said was intended to show love, respect, and sorrow for all the 9/11 victims, the soldiers who died in Afghanistan, and our first responders. But they and their float ended up receiving a ton of backlash because this is the float.
What the fuck?
What the? Are you
Because, you know, the best way to honor
What
murder
the
victims
fuck
is to
is
recreate
that?
the murder. And while yes, there were people in person and online that applauded the memorial effort, many called it tasteless. Watching in disbelief and leaving some not too happy comments, which resulted in the Republican group limiting comments on its social media posts. We also saw the county's GOP chairman eventually saying that they wish no disrespect and regret that the tribute was perceived in bad taste. But yeah, I guess the two main points of the story: one, there is such a thing as a bad idea if no one calls out the bad idea. And two, that stupid thing you did in the last week, not the dumbest thing that someone's done in the last week. So that's a positive. From that, I'm gonna take a second to pay some bills and thank the fantastic sponsor of today's show, Keep Order. And then let's definitely talk about the ongoing job crunch happening here in the States over these last few months. Right, we've talked about how it's hit sectors like food and hospitality, as well as retail, teaching, and even the medical field. But it's not just them. Then, in one of my favorite kinds of news, let's talk about the dangers of social media while on social media. This because internal Facebook documents obtained and published this morning by the Wall Street Journal show exactly how toxic platforms like Instagram can be for teens' mental health. According to the outlet, for 3 years now, Facebook's been conducting studies into how Instagram, which it owns, affects minors, saying repeatedly the company's researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of them, most notably teenage girls.
Yeah, this was whatever. Okay. Okay. Also, this is the gala.
I'm now too.
Hi.
Hi, Kendall.
No, look at you.
No, look at you.
This is
Should I give me some toes in there or what?
How are you? All she's been talking about is I want to make sure Emma's okay. She's been there for
Thank
so
you.
long.
Watching the
She's just
live
been
stream,
thinking
and I'm like,
about you.
where's Emma?
I know, I'm like dying over here.
Guys, is this a singer?
I love you. No, oh my God, you look so great. So tell me about the dress.
Well, it's the inspiration was Audrey Hepburn's My Fair Lady. We
Yes.
just did a modern take on that.
Man, who cares about any of this shit? I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
So like we really wanted to kind of take a special moment of hers and make it our own, and I feel like he did an amazing job. She wore Givenchy all the time. So.
Yeah, that connection with like French couture and American culture.
Incredible, full
but
circle.
Kendall is the one who's amplifying this.
No,
dress.
this is like amazing. Like I can't even look at you anymore. It's making me. No, it's so good. Okay.
And it was nice to just.
Man, I'm
something
out of
with
touch, man. This is some fucking. This is making my brain go mushy mode. What the fuck is that?